It was Sunday. M had arrived the day before and was planning to stay till Wednesday. The householder devotees generally visited the monastery on Sundays. The Yoga Vasishtha was being studied and explained. M had heard a little about the teachings of this book from Sri Ramakrishna. It taught the absolute identity of Brahman and the soul, and the unreality of the world. The master had forbidden him and the other householder devotees to practice spiritual discipline following the method of the Advaita Vedanta, since the attitude of the oneness of the soul and God is harmful for one still identified with the body. For such a devotee, the master used to say, it was better to look on God as the Lord and oneself as his servant. The conversation turned to the Yoga Vasishtha. M. Well, how is Brahmajnana described in the Yoga Vasishtha? Rakhal. Hunger, thirst, pain, pleasure, and so on. All are Maya. The annihilation of the mind is the only means to the realization of Brahman. M. What remains after the annihilation of the mind is Brahman. Is that not true? Rakhal. Yes. M. Sri Ramakrishna used to say that. Nangta taught him that way. Have you found in the book that Vasishtha asked Ram to lead a householder's life? Rakhal. I haven't yet found anything like that in the book. Ram is not even admitted by the author to be an incarnation of God. Presently, Narendra, Taruk, and another devotee returned from the bank of the Ganges. They had intended to go to Kunnagar, on the other side of the river, but had been unable to find a ferry boat. They sat down. The conversation about the Yoga Vasishtha went on. Narendra to M. There are many nice stories in the book. Do you know the incident of Leela? M. Yes, I have read the book here and there. Leela had attained Brahmajnana. Narendra. Yes. Do you remember the story of Indra and Ahilya? And the story of how King Viduratha became a Chandal? M. Yes, I remember. Narendra. What a wonderful description of the forest. Narendra and the other devotees were going to the Ganges to bathe. M accompanied them. The sun was very hot, so M took his umbrella. Sharad, a devotee from Baranagar, was going with them to take his bath. He often visited the monastery. M. To Sharud. It is very hot. Narendra. Is that your excuse for taking the umbrella? M laughed. The members of the monastery were clad in gerua. M. To Narendra. It is really very hot. One is liable to get a sunstroke. Narendra. I see that your body is the obstacle in your path of renunciation. Isn't that so? I mean, you, Debendra Babu. M laughed and said to himself, is it merely the body?